So the Jacksonville Jaguars lose in Week 6 today to the same team that they shut out in Week 2, and to the same team that was dead last in the NFL in scoring at 13.8 points per game, and the same team that didn't have both their starting running backs in both Jonathan Taylor and Himes, and they were also missing Kwity Paye and Shaquille Leonard. The Jaguars still lost to that team. The Jaguars fall to 2-4 on the season and 1-2 in the AFC South. Now, let me start this video off by saying to Colts fans, you guys got off to an extremely rocky start to start the year. A lot of ups and downs, mostly downs, but you guys have been resilient. You guys are now 3-2-1 on the season, and you guys are playing a lot better. Looks like you guys have some momentum moving forward, especially once you get these guys healthy and ready to continue moving forward with the season. So Colts fans, I don't really got a problem with you guys. Titans fans are really the only ones in the division I don't like. So nothing but the utmost respect and love for y'all, man. We just want to say congratulations on the win. The Jaguars haven't won in Indianapolis since 2017, and we haven't swept you since 2017. So any Colts fans that are in here, man, congratulations to you guys. I got no hate or animosity towards you guys. Just great victory. I got nothing but respect, and let's actually talk about the Colts a little bit now. Now, speaking about the Colts, let's obviously talk with quarterback at the helm, Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan, who was in an absolute hell in Week 2, had probably the worst game of the season so far by his standards. Absolutely had the best game of the season so far today versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Matt Ryan was 42 of 58, 389 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 turnovers. And Matt Ryan also set a new career high for completions. A new career high. The same Matt Ryan that I've grown up watching my entire life since I was a child, who's felt like has played for 20 plus years, and congratulations to him on moving past Dan Marino on the all-time passing list. That same Matt Ryan set a new career high for completions today. Jaguars defense, come on, man. Indianapolis' rushing game was basically non-existent. They only had 16 carries for 45 yards all afternoon, but Michael Pittman Jr., one of the better young wide receivers in the game, had himself a day-to-day. 13 receptions, 134 yards, but he had 16 targets. Michael Pittman Jr., new career high in receptions and yards. And same thing with Deion Jackson, 10 catches for 79 yards, man. Paris Campbell was making plays all over the field, and it just felt like all afternoon the Colts offense just could not be slowed down, which is something I wasn't expecting, considering that the Jaguars defense has played significantly well throughout a huge majority of the season, and considering the fact that we held them to 0 points in Week 2. I was expecting the Colts to actually put up some points on the board, but not 34. But congratulations to you guys there. Let me actually talk about the Jaguars now in this video. Now, actually talking about the Jaguars a little bit, let's start with quarterback at the helm, Trevor Lawrence, aka Mr. Sunshine, who had a very great game today considering he played 2 terrible games in the last 2 weeks. Trevor Lawrence today was 20 of 22 for 165 yards, 1 touchdown through the air, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Travis Etienne in the rushing department, have a day, my guy. 10 carries, 86 yards. Hasty with that huge 61-yard run today, had that touchdown as well too. Shout out to him. James Robinson with some great, powerful downhill running that he had earlier today. 12 carries for 54 yards. And then Trevor Lawrence also got involved in the running game as well, using his legs. 6 carries for 23 yards and those 2 rushing touchdowns that I included. And then the receiving department, Zay Jones made plays when he needed to make plays. 5 catches for 42 yards. Evan Ingram, 5 catches for 40 yards. Christian Kirk, 4 catches for 24 yards. But really, the offensive passing game really wasn't there for Doug Peterson in this offense today. Some of that due to the offensive line, some of that due to most sort of the play calling, and more so just the flow of the game. So I don't really blame any of the receivers for today's performance, but I just want to say Jamal Agnew, man, because look, man, I love Jamal Agnew. Me and all my homies, we love Jamal Agnew. I hope you're okay, my guy. Know you left the game, you didn't return. And I just want to say, Jamal, man, I hope you're okay, man. But 3 things that I certainly want to point out that are positives for the Jaguars to take away was A, Trevor Lawrence, but also Etienne. I really just want to stack that one together as the Clemson duo that had an amazing day today. You know, Travis Etienne was averaging 8.6 yards per carry, and he was also getting involved in the passing game as well too. 2 catches for 22 yards. And Trevor Lawrence was also extremely effective, extremely efficient, and was also making the necessary plays when he needed to step up to the task and make the plays for the Jaguars. All the chatter I've heard all week and over the last couple of weeks, and rightfully so, was that Trevor Lawrence doesn't have a single clutch gene in him. He can't take the team down the field when we're trailing and, help the Jaguars take a lead. And sure enough, he did that today. The Jaguars had an 18-play drive that ended in a touchdown to Christian Kirk. What a drive by Trevor Lawrence. What a drive by the Jaguars offense and Doug Peterson. It ultimately didn't result in us getting that win, but great job by them. I just just wanted to give a first and foremost shout out to Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence for that Clemson duo and the way that they both performed today. Also, I want to talk about the Jaguars in the rushing department. All week and basically all season, the Jaguars and us fans have been preaching, please just continue running the ball, especially when the ground game's working. And the Jaguars and Doug Peterson did that today. 243 yards rushing on the ground today, averaging 7.4 yards per carry for the Jaguars. So great job pounding the ball today by Doug Peterson and the offense. And lastly, the other good thing I want to point out with the Jaguars is just really third down efficiency. The Jaguars haven't done a great job all season on third down. They were a pretty middle of the pack team, but 5 out of 10, I like it. And they also stepped up on third down when they needed it the most on that 18-play drive. So great job there. But talking about the bad with the Jaguars, the first bad I want to talk about is with the offensive line. Cam Robinson and Jawan Taylor have slowly been regressing. I need to see them continuously keep making strides and stepping up, because there was plenty of times, especially when Trevor Lawrence was sacked in the first half, and he was sacked 4 times in the first half. At least 3 of those were on the offensive line, and I stand by that, okay? Jawan Taylor, Cam Robinson, and also the guard that we acquired from the Green Bay Packers a couple of weeks back. They need to give Trevor Lawrence a little bit more time on that. Now, the one where Trevor Lawrence spun out and, Cam Robinson gave up that sack, you know what? I'll blame that on Trevor. But the offensive line, when they protect Trevor, you've clearly seen Trevor is a completely different quarterback, and all the analytics speak for that. The offensive line, you've got to play a little more consistent, and specifically when I'm referring to Cam Robinson and Jawan Taylor, because the Jaguars did a great job in terms of the screen game today. But when it comes to pass blocking, specifically our tackles, you guys got to do a little bit better job there. And I also want to talk about, in terms of poorest performances, how can I not mention Shaquille Griffin? Now, Shaquille Griffin is a guy I've defended a lot, and I think that he's still a great person. I think he's a great leader. I think he's a terrific guy to have in the locker room. I got nothing against him and his personality and his character. I think he's a great guy. But at the end of the day, I need you to step up and, continue to play at an elite level, considering the fact that we're paying you a lot of money to be on this roster. Rayshawn Jenkins has taken a huge step up this season, and Shaquille Griffin, you have not taken that next step this season. This was easily one of the worst games I've seen by a defensive back for the Jaguars in quite a long time, maybe in my entire lifetime of being a diehard Jags fan, and that says a lot. Shaquille Griffin, I have a lot higher of expectations that I hold of you, and you need to continue to ascend and hold yourself accountable, because that was one of the worst games I've seen by you. Shaquille had 2 plays where he actually stepped up to the task and made a nice play. But Shaquille Griffin, man, you're a lot better than that. I have a lot higher expectations from you. I was extremely disappointed in you today. And the majority of the fan base was today, man, step up and do better, because today was a poor performance. And the last negative thing I want to kind of point out about today was with Trayvon Walker, who had another roughing the passer today. Now, this roughing the passer on Matt Ryan, where he kind of hit him in the face after the ball was out of his hands, was clearly not as bad as it was in the previous week on Davis Mills, where he literally flung him like a rag doll. Trayvon Walker, I know you're young, I know you're super aggressive, and you're literally a man amongst boys, but come on, we got to do a little bit better of a job there. But I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, because Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker, at times, they weren't consistent. We're getting pressure on Matt Ryan, but the Jaguars defense and Mike Caldwell, they really let this team down today, especially considering the fact that Trevor Lawrence took the team down the field while they were trailing and was able to get the go-ahead touchdown. And even though the Jaguars still sit at 2-4, and the Jaguars have lost every single game that they have lost by 1 possession, there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic. I mean, with a first-year head coach in Doug Peterson being here, being in the city, and kind of getting acclimated to this team and really getting the roster construction together, there's a lot of reasons to look forward to what's to come for Doug Peterson and this team, especially with second-year quarterback at the helm, Trevor Lawrence, who's shown significant improvement from his rookie season. So there's been a lot of ups and downs, and there's going to continue to be great moments from the Jaguars this season. There's going to be down moments like now, but we've lost every game that we've lost by 1 possession. There's a lot of improvements that you've seen from this team. There's clearly still a new energy with this team, and I'm not too worried, because I did pick the Jaguars to go 8-9 this year. I did have us missing out on the playoffs originally heading into the season, and it looks like 8-9 is still very attainable. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm not sitting here and I'm not too worried, but hopefully the Jaguars can beat the Giants next weekend. Even though the Giants look extremely good right now, they're sitting at 5-1, and the Jaguars will be back at TIAA Bank Field next Sunday. Now, I wish I could be at the game, but I will not be at the game. I will be back in town though, but I'll be celebrating my mom's 40th birthday, so I really won't be having a lot of time to, dedicate to the Jaguars game, even though I'd love to. But happy early birthday, Mom. But that's it for this video, man. Jaguar fans, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And Colts fans, if you guys are in here, please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed today's video, man, make sure you guys drop me a thumbs up. It takes 1 second and it helps me in the channel out tremendously. And if you guys are new here, consider hitting that subscribe bell to stay tuned for more NBA, UCF, and of course, Jaguars content that I do here on YouTube. But thanks again for sticking around throughout the whole video. Brett James, aka BJ, I'm out, y'all. Go Jags, baby. Peace.